Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So I've got Amanda T joining me. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, everybody.
Guys, we had to sort it out. I'm Amanda M and she's Amanda T. T as in Tom, okay? So if you are emailing for us to answer any questions or, to sign with, book with someone, make sure you make that distinction or you might hear from both of us. Guys, we have an exciting video on how to manifest money. And I feel like you guys manifested this as well as manifesting a sale. Right now, Amanda's having 50% off on her coaching. She is absolutely amazing. She knows her stuff. She's actually going to share a lot of her own personal success stories about what she's manifested for money and how she did it. And I've got a few that I'm going to throw in as well. Just before we dive into it, guys, we do have a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. Definitely check out, link is in the description. It's a completely free course and it's going to help you to manifest your stuff quickly and sort out your mental diet. So it's going to help you to identify the thoughts you want to keep and throw out the ones that you don't want. So yes, I'm excited to hear some more of what you've been manifesting.
Okay, well, yes. So I love manifesting money all the time. And I'm excited to share with you guys all of the success stories. So the thing about me is that I do live in quite a beautiful house, which is very lovely. And the best part is that I don't pay for any of it. I don't pay a mortgage. I don't pay rent. I don't pay a single utility bill, all the hot water and electricity I want. And then actually, if I want to renovate, if I want to change flooring or something, that's paid for with somebody else's money. And, that is actually in exchange for something I created, which is just me being on the premises and working. Except I've also created a manifestation that I never have to work, that people always do the work for me and I still get paid. So my life is so easy that I now get to share my passion with you and teach you how to successfully manifest so much money. You sit at your office and do nothing. Take a nap.
I love that. It's amazing, and you don't have to, if somebody was like, okay, well, you know what, I remember when I was manifesting, back in the day, and it was like, okay, you know what, it's like, when I listened to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, he says, how much money do you want to manifest and what are you going to do to get it? And I was like, why do I need to do anything to get it?
Amen.
Like, why can't I just manifest it and be like, okay, well, I intend to get $1 billion and not really do much to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be aware of what your stories are. Like, what are you creating? Are you creating that you've got to work hard to survive? Or are you creating like, for instance, if you want like, a passive income, intend that the best passive income idea just falls on your lap or opportunity. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. The amount of times I've just asked for a quick download. I want this much money. Give me, show me where to get it. Give me the idea. But, the other day, actually, this was quite recent. I wanted to buy some dressers, but I didn't want to pay for them. I just didn't want to. So I said, okay, I'm going to manifest. I want $1,000 to buy the 2 dresses. So I just thought about it for a second and I just imagined someone handing me and the $100 like in cash, like fanning it out. And this particular manifestation, I did picture someone I knew had money, but they love me and they want me to have money. They want me to have dressers. So it was literally the next day, a quick manifestation. Within hours, they were here and they said, oh, here you go. I mean, I don't ever have to ask for money. I forgot I had a bill this week and I didn't pay that either.
Love it. I love it. Oh my God.
Yeah, I forgot I had a vet bill this week.
Right?
My money stays in my account. Their money is my money. My money is my money.
I love it. You know what I did once? So there was like this bridge and like it was a toll bridge. Like they just built it and there was a toll. And it was so annoying. Like the toll wasn't a lot of money, but it was just annoying paying it and going to the account. It was like $2.40. But I was like, no, I intend they take the toll off that bridge. Guess what? They took the toll off the bridge. The other thing, right? And anyone from Canada knows that we're British Columbia anyway, we had BC Medical Service Plan, which is like, it was $75 a month for like, our basic medical anyways. And so I was like, no, I don't want to pay this. So I intended, well, no, I said, I don't want to pay 75. I'm like, I'll pay half of it. That's good. And then the next year they were like, oh, good news. We're cutting it in half. And I was like, okay. And then a few months later, I was like, no, I don't want to pay it at all. Like, I really don't want to pay any of it. Like, I don't even want to pay $37.50. Like, no, thank you. Like, I'm like, I pay enough in taxes. I want it free. So all of a sudden, there was like a couple months later, Andrew goes, did you check your MSP bill? And I said, no. And he goes, oh, well, there was like a leaflet in it. You might want to read it. And I was like, okay. So I opened it and they're like, starting next month, you don't have to pay anything. And I was like, I thought so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do it with anything. I've done it with something, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember getting so many other, just trips and things, but anyways, we have tolls now in Washington too, and I hate them, and I'm always going, it's free today.
Right. The other thing I do is I always intend that when I go grocery shopping, everything I'm buying is on sale. And then I always intend that I find the best free stuff. Oh my God, there's so many free, like, I can't even tell you like how many free things I found that were like totally like, brand new. We used to have this thing called a magic laundry room in one of these like buildings I used to live in. And one of my friends thought I meant magic laundry room as I would like steal clothes out of the washer. I'm like, no, that's not what I mean. I'm like, it's a big laundry room and there's a donation table, right? And it's magic because things I would think of would show up there. So, because people would bring, and so one time I wanted 2 chairs in my living room. Guess what? 2 black, pretty much perfect chairs. One time I wanted an extra TV for my bedroom. Boom, TV was there. And then I was like, well, it'd be nice if there was a VCR and some like, VHS tapes. Like, this is how old it was. And then sure enough, the next week there was a VCR, VHS tapes of movies I liked. Like, it was just crazy. It was like, so I called it the magic laundry room because anything I was thinking what I wanted would show up in that laundry room, and I didn't even need to go anywhere to get it, except I would park my car and go through past the laundry room. So I just poke my head in, and see what was in there. This is like, this is magic, right? Our life, like, we think everything up. Everything starts with a thought, right?
And the less you think about the thought you were thinking, if it's a good one, don't fight your abundance. Allow those things to be put in the laundry room, and then take them and feel good about it that you manifested that. That's part of creating all of this abundance and getting those sales. And then you start to expect it, and more comes. You're exactly right. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've wanted something and somebody's like, oh, here, have this brand new thing. I remember my son in particular, he wanted a yo-yo, and I was like, I don't remember what happened, but all of a sudden, like, all the yo-yos in the world disappeared. And I was like, well, I guess we'll order you one or something, but I'm trying to teach him to manifest. And so actually just a couple days later, something came in the mail. He has a t-shirt of the month club, and a yo-yo was in there. And then
it was.
Of course. And then over a Christmas, he got a whole package of yo-yos, and we've been able to do that. You can do that with anything. It is just like a genie lamp.
Exactly. But if you've got resistance, right? And resistance will come in a few forms. It'll come in not believing your thoughts create, right? So you'll have to deal with that resistance if that's yours. The other thing that resistance may come in is past old thoughts that are in play. So I know so magic laundry room, no problem, easy peasy. Little things like that was fine. But when it came for me to manifest big chunks of money, I needed to go through my money story. Like, I literally did, like, money isn't evil. I've never seen, and it was like, I had this belief money's evil. And I was like, well, no, I've never seen a $5 bill get up, grab a knife, and stab somebody. So I don't think it's the money that's evil, right? And then I'm like, in the movies, I'm like, the rich guy's always evil. I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to be an evil person. So, and you may not know these stories are really in play, but just clean them out, clean them out. With manifesting money and getting rid of your money blocks, like, it's not like an SP. If you got one SP that you got a block with, and it's not your personal block with your self-concept, but it's literally them, you have a story about them, you can just get a new SP, start over, and kind of skip over dealing with that. But when it comes to money, you don't. Money is money. You can't just be like, sorry, a dollar bill, I'm skipping over you. No, you know what I mean? So, but, don't fight with yourself that it is hard, Like me, I manifested I get free vegetables all the time. So either my mom brings them, or there's this like meat shop that always has free vegetables outside. And things like that, right? So I even look at my money manifestations as saving money. Oh my God, you know what? My insurance gave so many rebates last year. It was crazy. I kept intending checks in the mail, and the insurance rebates just kept coming. It's like, I don't even think I paid for my insurance at this point, how many checks I got back, and I mean, it was like $100 here, $100 there. I was like, oh my God,
Exactly. Yes. I've had old car loans from cars way back in the day, and I'm still getting like dividends from something that they did. And I'm like, cool. I didn't know. Why, thank you for my $500-600. And you're absolutely right. That was such a good point about those money blocks and how it's different about like an SP or something. In fact, I had a client recently who, her husband was having surgery. So he put money into account for her to take, because she was taking time off work to talk to him. But they had a system in their marriage that had already been in play for years, that their money was very separate. And she felt bad about just taking the money that was being given to her. It was so hard to take what was hers right there. So we had to talk about how those feelings were stopping her and dive in a little bit deeper. But she did get that money, and she went to the nail salon the next day. So, she was feeling good about it. But that is an interesting point. I really like that.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. If you want to manifest money, you have to be okay receiving it. There was somebody I was talking to actually not that long ago that is like, starting their own little business, and they had feelings of guilt around accepting money for their services. And it was like, no, you need to change that story. You need to change the story that, you're helping people that are already successful be even more successful and make even more money. And you should be paid for that. They want to pay you for that. I mean, that's just the way it is. Right. And same thing, if you intend, that people buy you dinner all the time, when you're there, you have to accept it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many times people are like, well, what, I intend he buys me dinner, but then I'm like, well, why didn't he buy you dinner? Oh, well, it felt uncomfortable. I know they don't have a lot of money. And it's like, well, don't create that of the other person. Create that the other person's had tons of money and loves to pay for stuff for you, right?
Right. And that's stepping into an old money story at that moment. So if you're having that feeling, if you can't be aware of the thought, if you're starting to feel weird about the money and the check on the table, that's a good point. You can check in with yourself and say, oh, this is the old story. And don't hurt yourself by saying, oh, no, I've got it, or let me pay for half. You say, thank you so much. I love dinner. Then plan on it next week and just keep filling up that abundance, because they love to give. People love to give. It's better to give than receive, unless you're receiving.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, right, like, if you are like, in your own business and stuff, I mean, this is my view. Okay. Like, I have no problem paying, people for doing things in my business. Like, for example, like, my accountant, I have no problem paying her. Like, thank you for doing my books. Like, I don't want to, I have money, I'll give you money in exchange. Like, see that, as people, basically are giving you money because they appreciate you for whatever service or product you're giving them in exchange, right? If you're making cupcakes, people love paying you for the cupcakes and giving you a tip because you're such a good baker, and they appreciate your time. There's a lot of people out there that money doesn't mean that much to, and they don't hold on to it really tightly, and they're more than happy to compensate people, monetarily for things that they do. So start intending that that's what's showing up in your life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have that money mindset. With me, it's, I was born rich. I'm going to die rich. I've always been rich. I don't care how much money's in my account. It will be flowing in right after, because I have that money mindset. But, I also, because of that, and I know people with a higher money, they love to tip, exactly like you're saying, and they tip high amounts. They've been in that situation. They've worked as the waiter. Or I love to support small businesses. Like, if you have your own brick and mortar shop and it's just you, I love to go in and pay those higher prices, because I'm supporting you and your family in a, in the economy versus a higher paying place. So if you just change your mind a little bit about how it's coming in, it will just start flowing in as though you're at the ATM.
Exactly. And it's like when I spend money, I say every dollar I spend, I'm going to make like $10,000 back through my business, within a week, and so just be mindful in those moments when you get that bill in the mail. What's your first thought? Like, I remember I had no money. I had just started Create Your Future. I quit my job. I was on like employment assistance, and all of a sudden I already got my website up and running, and they were like, oh my God, next week, or next was it next year? It's like $500 for web hosting you're going to have to pay. And like at the moment, I knew it wasn't in my budget, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, by this time next year, I'm going to have this much money. I'm easily going to be able to pay that bill, plus this, plus that, and just watch what you're thinking, when you get those bills in the mail, and like, and like how you're feeling when you're spending money. I don't pay monthly for my car insurance. I sit down when I had that moment when I was thinking about that web hosting bill, I thought, no, I'm going to be able to pay that. Plus I'm going to be able to pay my insurance yearly. I'm going to be able to buy a car without a car loan. I'm going to pay cash for it. I'm going to, and I made all of those declarations at that moment. Like, that's how my life was going to be financially. I was never going to have a credit card debt. My credit cards were always going to be paid off when they needed to be. And then I would get credit cards with like the best bonuses. Like if you're in Canada and Canadian Tire, like they give like Canadian Tire money to their store for their credit card, right? So like I don't even pay interest on it because I always pay it off. But then I always get free stuff at Canadian Tire constantly, right? So, start making these declarations now, I'm going to be debt free. I'm always going to be able to pay cash for my cars, or trucks or whatever, right?
Exactly. And don't let the squeeze ever, because we're all going to feel it at one time or another. It's part of this journey we call life as manifestors. As much as we like to control and do things, things will show up. And, when it does, I always like to look forward at that particular moment. If I'm feeling a little broke, which I don't, but I'll plan a trip 6 weeks after, something like that. I give myself something to look forward to. I don't have this mindset of where I'm stuck there forever. This is one moment in time, and I'm going to be in Tahiti or wherever in 6 weeks, 6 months, depending on weather. But I have something picked out in the future. I have a goal that is in a money mindset that I know that money is going to be burned on, and I'm going to love every moment of it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm going on a trip like next week, and like I'm like, oh my God, I got more than enough money to go on this trip. In fact, I could even like go around the world, and like, it's funny, like I just automatically do that rather than thinking, oh my God, like I'm going to lose. No, I've got more than enough money to do this. And in fact, while I'm on that trip, I'm just going to be constantly making more money.
Right?
From all the different various things I make money for, like when I invest my money, I get the highest interest rate possible, all these different areas, right? And just constantly be, throwing it out there, and like, I remember I like renewed a bunch of investments, and they said to me, wow, this is a really good interest rate right now. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Isn't that crazy? I intended it. Course. Actually, somebody asked a question, can you control the stock market? Absolutely. Everything is you pushed out in your reality. 100%. Can, it's funny, they're not around anymore, and I don't really remember their name, but they were like a law of assumption, like, money manifesting sort of like seminar weekend. And it's like, you go there and you're like, I have a millionaire mind. I know how, and they give you all these affirmations for making money, which was really great. And they talked a lot extensively about the stock market, and not about, pre-existing patterns, but about, basically, controlling it, because you're in control of everything in your life, right? So, start creating your story now. I know with stock markets, you can do stop sells and stuff to protect yourself, which is great. You want to protect yourself from negative thoughts, but yeah, you control everything. I remember when we moved into this house, it's 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom. It's like 4,000 square feet. And I was like, I don't want my mortgage over $2,000. Like, I don't want it over 2,000. I wanted to that. Sure enough, miraculously, it's at $2,000. Like,
exactly. No, I had a hotel plan that I was going to, and the rate increased, and I thought, well, now I have to stay at this other hotel, and I don't want to. And I just said, well, that's not good. And of course, it just went right back, and I got it for the cheaper rate, and it was easy. And the red tape is not really there. you know, there's nothing actually holding it in. Like you said, with credit card interest rates, all you need is the thought and the belief, and it will just, well, you don't even have to believe it, but it will. You'll have the no interest. You'll have the debt paid off. You'll be living in a place you get to renovate and then change the wall color 50 times because you can't decide it with other people's money. We can get you there.
Exactly. I mean, you know what? You're limitless. You can have anything that you want, you know, and, you know, sometimes, you know, you may need to have, you know, that little fight with yourself and really persist because there is resistance, you know, but other times, you know, you'll find that when you do a list of like free things, sales, you start building your belief. And the more you build your belief in this, you know, the easier it's going to become, and you're not going to have as much resistance, right? You'll wake up in the morning like me. I'm like, look, you know what? Everyone's me pushed out. My life's amazing. I can be, do, and have anything I want. And all I need to do is think it. Today is going to be a great day, you know, end of story. And then that's it. Like, let's go enjoy my day, right? You know?
Yes, that's exactly how I wake up, say my list of general affirmations, and then just watch the bounty come in.
Exactly. So I intend everybody watching this video basically manifest, like, you know, at least a check of $100. Comment, I claim it, you know, to lock that in for sure.
Yes, easy. I'm claiming it now too. So hopefully I'll have my own success story with that to show. I'm getting it too.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Bye, everybody.
We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.